What's up, guys? And ladies, of course. What are we doing today? Today, we are going to do a Sylph review. It's about time, and I've done this video literally 4 times already. So, I'm super excited to do it a 5th time. But I should know Sylphs like the back of my hand, right? I haven't memorized all their stuff yet. I just keep getting frustrated, and... Anyway. So now I have 2 Sylphs. I actually got, right after I did the Fusion Hexagram video, literally like an hour later, I got the last thing that I needed, the Fire Martial Cat, to do my, I got her in a scroll, to do my, my Fire Sylph, to actually get the Fire Sylph. So, he's pretty new, but, and I wouldn't say he's the best Sylph, dependent, of course, but we're gonna go over that anyway. To start off, I see most Sylphs ruined a certain way. Not all Sylphs, of course. You can ruin anything any way you want it, but I see a lot of Sylphs that are ruined Fatal Blade, and I see a lot of Sylphs that are ruined Despair Focus with speed on 2 and accuracy on 6. And the Fatal Blade, I see the crit rate on 4. Crit rate percentage on 4. I don't think, and it's not that the Sylphs have horrible attack power. I just think that there's so many more monsters that have better attack and are better Fatal Blade monsters. I could definitely see Despair Focus, for basically the reason that they have, not all of them, but some of them have 2 AoEs. And if you have 2 AoEs, I really like the Despair Focus combo on the 2 AoEs. And I like the accuracy, of course, on the 6 slot, accuracy percentage on 6 slot. I do see a lot of the speed on the 2 slot. They do have speed leader skills, so I think that's why. But I just think, that they're best for buffing up other monsters and not necessarily for them having their own speed high, unless we're talking about like the Water Sylph, which I do have speed on my. He doesn't attack at all. Like, I mean, he attacks, but he doesn't. We'll get into that. But yeah, he doesn't. He's just there for speed and accuracy. So I can see that on him, but I can't. I don't know. They're supposed to be attack monsters. I just think that they're better support. I feel like they should be support monsters. To be honest, they have better support skills than their attacks. Their attacks I haven't found to do all that much damage. So what do we have? What do we have? We have the Spirit Throw, which is the same for all Sylphs, except that it kind of changes. And we'll go over that too. But it throws a small spirit at the enemy and increases your critical rate by 30% at next turn if you get a critical hit. I'm not in love with that skill. I think that there's much better first skills, to be honest. I like Lucian's first skill and things like that. So I'm not super crazy about that. Plus the other Sylphs have better first skills. Not all of the other ones, but there's like the Water one will repeat. It'll have the chance to hit multiple times. We have Turbulence, which compresses the air around the enemy, causing turbulence, which sets their attack bar to 0. This is really nice for slow monsters. So it's like getting ready to attack, and then you're like, I don't think so. So that's a nice. It's a one shot, but it's definitely an interesting skill to have in certain situations. It's best for like big slow monsters and bosses and stuff like that. But it's definitely beneficial. So the only thing is it kind of sucks for the giants, because then it's like, oh, you can still, if we crit you, you can still do damage to us, but he doesn't need to. His attack bar doesn't need to fill up. The giant anyway. His attack bar doesn't need to fill up for him to actually attack. So you can just counter. But yeah, Turbulence is really nice. Then we have the Phoenix Fury, which summons a Phoenix to breathe fire on all enemies and inflicts 2 continuous damage for 3 turns. I do like the dots. The continuous damage is dots. I like those. I like that it's an AoE, so it's very nice in that aspect. This would be good for Despair Focus, but it's only he only has 1 AoE. And if you guys have seen my other videos, you know that I like AoE. I like 2 AoE skills if I want to do Despair Focus on my monsters. So there. Then we have the Leader skill, which increases the attack speed of ally monsters by 19%. This is a really good way to combo. And you'll notice all the Sylphs have speed leader skills. This is attack monsters in the arena and in the dungeons. So it's all attack monsters. Not all attack monsters. All monsters get a speed boost of 19%. So it's like 2/3 of a Swift set bonus for each monster. All different elements monsters, all different like arena and dungeons. It's just a blanket 19% attack speed boost, which is nice. So I do like that skill. I do like that. I like the Leader skill. It's basically is always beneficial, as opposed to something like her Leader skill, which increases the accuracy of ally monsters in the arena by 40%. So I mean that's not going to be as useful of a Leader skill. So like definitely the Sylph's Leader skills I really like. Okay, on to the water one. I'll try to make this a somewhat quick video anyway. So I might blow through this because I really don't want to do it a 6th time, and I'm kind of afraid that things are going to get messed up again. So anyway, so we have the Tyron, which is the water Sylph. So it throws a small spirit at the enemy with a 30% chance to attack consecutively. So you can just attack, maybe you'll attack again, maybe you'll attack again, maybe you'll attack again. I've seen him attack 4 times in a row, which is really nice. Really nice to have that version of the spirit throw. Is definitely more powerful than the fire one. Then we have the Cyclone. Attacks all enemies with a Cyclone 2 times. 40% chance of increasing the enemy's chance of landing a glancing hit for 2 turns. That is, I like the AoE. I don't like the 40% chance of the glancing hit. I just think that's like it's whatever. The Hailstorm, which attacks all enemies with a Hailstorm and freezes them for 1 turn. This is how I have my my Water Sylph ruined. He's got Swift and Focus. He's the leader for Arena. There's 2 or 3 different team strategies I use for Arena. He's one of the main ones. Of course, one of the main. If I have 2 or 3, they're all the fucking main ones. Anyway, it's an AoE freeze. So I have the accuracy on 6. I have the speed on 2. And I have either HP percentage or attack percentage on 4. It doesn't really matter for him. I find him a support monster more than anything else. But it would also be good if I was using him for dungeons. I would probably rune him with Despair and Focus instead of Swift Focus. Swift Focus, I just want him to attack first, do the AoE freeze, and also buff up the speed of the other monsters that I have. And then like the Megan will attack second, and then she'll buff up the speed of the other two that are like the attack monsters. So that's the strategy for it in there. But for dungeons, might be good to do like a Despair Focus set. So because it's kind of like a cheap arena win. It's like a you either win fast or you don't win. Well, you either win fast or it's going to be much harder. With this arena strategy, basically, or if they have very high resistance and the freeze doesn't stick, then you're like, oh, oops. Well, actually, then Megan still does her stuff. But anyway, back on topic. Then we have the Leader skill, increases the attack speed of ally monsters by 19%. This is both arena and dungeon, no matter what kind of flavor your monsters are. If they're vanilla or chocolate or strawberry, all of the different flavors. So yeah, he's got the 2, so he can be Despair Focus or Speed Focus depending on what you want to use him for. Right. I wouldn't put Fatal Blade on him. I just think that's I wouldn't do it. He's more of a support monster. He's an attack monster technically, but he's more of a support monster. Then we have number 3, and his leader skill is even better, if I remember correctly. So this is the Shimitae. So we have the Spirit Throw, which is the same as the fire. We have the Cyclone, which is the same as the it's miss an attack. I'm not sure if they actually mean miss completely because I haven't seen that. I think they mean glancing hit, but you never know. They could mean either one, and I don't have this one. I don't have this monster, so I can't say specifically if that is correct or not. I think it might be glancing hit, but I could be wrong. It is an AoE though. Then we have the Airbender, creates a hurricane around the enemy and absorbs their attack speed for 3 turns. Not my favorite for that skill. It could be useful for like one monster, but I don't know. I'm not in love with that one. Then we have the the leader skill increases the attack speed of ally monsters in the arena by 24%. So this is all monsters, 24%, but it's just the arena. So this is why he's used in the arena, not so much used in the other aspects. So he's got the Cyclone AoE. I see a lot of people do Fatal Blade, or I wouldn't use Despair. I wouldn't use Despair on him because he's only got one AoE skill, and I don't want to like get a small chance of Despair on just one monster. I would rather like hit 4 or 5 monsters and like almost be like, yes, one of them is gonna get stunned. So he's. I could see maybe him being like an attacker, but he's really there to buff up the speed of for arena. That's his best asset, is to buff up the speed of your monsters in the arena. So, and he is good for that. All right, who do we have? The Eredas, which is the light Sylph. All right, and this is an HP. This is they're claiming this to be an HP monster. So we have the Spirit Throw. The same as the other ones. The same as the Fire and the Wind. We have the Cyclone, attacks all enemies with the Cyclone 2 times. Each attack has a 40% increasing. Okay, glancing hit. Yes, that's the same Cyclone as the water one. Double Cyclone attacks all enemies with Cyclone 4 times. Each attack has a 10% chance to stun the enemy. This might be good for. This is actually really good for Despair and Despair Focus, because he's got 2 Cyclones. A nice chance of stunning, especially on a nice chance of stunning only on the 3rd skill, but like you still get that chance. Like you're probably gonna stun if you have the Despair Focus and the double Cyclone. That's like a double chance of double Cyclone, double chance of stun. So yeah, I would say you could pretty much rely on that stunning some guys. Even with the small 10% chance, you get that boost from the Despair runes. And then increases the attack speed of ally monsters in the dungeons by 24%. This is pretty nice for dungeons. It's like the Wind one, but instead of the arena, it's for the dungeons. Sounds good. Sounds good. Not too many people have this one, or the next one, because they're just so damn rare. But if you do, that's a nice dungeon AoE stun. Could be useful in many situations. Then we have the Aschubel, the Dark Sylph. So we have the Spirit Throw, which you already know what it is. We have the Turbulence, which it's kind of similar to the Fire one. Causes turbulence to set the enemy's attack gauge to 0 and increases your attack gauge by 50%. So it's a little bit more powerful than the Fire one. He's actually a lot more rare, especially with the fusion possibility for the Fire one. You can fuse him pretty easily, the Fire Sylph. So this one's not as easy to get. So Turbulence is a little bit better. I do like that, of course, in certain situations. It's very nice, which we went over. It's just this one has the increase of your attack gauge by 50%. Then we have the Nightfall. Surrounds all enemies with night and puts them to sleep for 2 turns. And then we also have the leader skill, increases the attack speed of ally monsters in the dungeons by 24%, which is the same as the light one. So that's very good for dungeons, of course. This guy is very, very good for dungeons. Why? Because he can put, like, for example, if you're facing if you're on a dungeon, you got 5 enemies. He will surround all the enemies and put them to sleep for 2 turns. This means you can just not you can use speed on 2 for him and accuracy on I don't know if this is every single time if he needs the accuracy for this, but definitely speed for 2. And because it doesn't say any percentage chance, so I mean accuracy would still help you, to offset their resistance. But I'm not sure that this necessarily means that it's not gonna work. So I don't think you need the accuracy percentage. I could be wrong. If you guys know, if you guys have him, definitely put some more info down in the comments section. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. But yeah, this is really nice, so that you can just do the AoE sleep, and then you can pick off 1 monster at a time. So you can use the rest of your monsters, like if you have the imps or something like that, or the Fire Viking, depending on what dungeon you're doing, you can pick off 1 monster at a time, and then you have the Turbulence to set the enemy's attack gauge to 0, which is very, very nice as well. So this guy is one that you want to, if you have him, he is for dungeons. That's what you want to use him for. Oh my god, we finally got through the whole thing. Oh my god, and it didn't crash. Yes. Oh wait, did it crash? Is it crashing? No, it's not crashing. Thank the Lord Almighty. Thank the Lord, baby Jesus, and Buddha, and Anubis, and Rakshasa. No, Rakshasa's not a deity. What am I talking about? And Zeus. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope this video works and doesn't get messed up, so I can upload it now, immediately, because I know you guys wanted to see this. And I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you liked it, like, comment, subscribe. If you didn't like it, oh well, things happen, shit happens. And I will see you guys in the next video.